So, good morning. Delighted to welcome you to the Center for Conscious Living in our Sunday service this August 9th, 2020. I'm delighted you're here, and I know that each person as you join adds to this field that we create as we come together. There are practitioners that are holding this field, knowing the truth for us. I see several on the call. Those officially on duty today are Michael Rogers and Regina DeBarberi, Kathy Miller, and our first practitioner of the day is Hazi Scheffler, and I'll ask her to come forward and do our opening invocation.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. So let us pray. I invite you to close your eyes. Let's call our attention and our intention to this holy space within as we breathe together. And as we breathe, each breath reminds us that there is perfect life flowing. That as we come together this morning, that it is the one life that's showing up as each and every one of us. This joyous expression of the divine is each one gathered here this morning. And I know that this one life is perfect. The source of all that is pure love, eternal light, perfect peace. And that this is the truth of who we are, and this is who we're showing up as today as we gather with this intention to remember the truth of who we are. And that this Sunday service is a sacred place where we get to radiate this truth, to expand our expression of this one life, showing up as each and every one of us. How glorious this life is, how glorious this moment is. That all we have to do is remember, come home to ourselves in this one unified consciousness of pure love. So from this space, I know that this sacred gathering is the activity of the divine. That there is only love here, there is only light, there is only expansion. There is only this one perfect life expressing beautifully with grace, ease, and joy as this service. I know that Rev Carol, our founding minister, is the perfect channel, this open vessel for divinely inspired thought and word that touches our soul, that helps us to come home to ourselves, to help us to remember what we already know, this one perfect life expressing. I know that the music is another joyous expression of the divine, showing up as Norman today, knowing that the technology supports this beautiful expression of divine activity, gathering us together in the digital space and, more importantly, in the space of consciousness, that everything flows with ease and grace and joy. And I know that each one present said yes to this divine invitation. That each one present receives exactly what is needed to nourish our minds, our hearts, our souls, so that we can be this fullest expression of life as us. And I know that the Center for Conscious Living is a beacon of light that touches not only those who are gathered, but that ripples out into all of humanity, up-leveling, uplifting, harmonizing, and unifying all of us in consciousness. And so I am so grateful for the opportunity to gather today, to joyously express and to share and to commune in this sacred space where there's only love, there's only God, there's only this one life. So with heartfelt gratitude, I release this, knowing that it is done. Together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Haji. Beautiful, beautiful. And Norman, I'm having,
I think I got it.
yeah, sorry, yeah, that wouldn't let me unmute you.
All right. If you are yearning, spirit feels lost, just find your faith and carry on. In the darkest night of your soul, look at the love you already hold. Look within, you'll find your way. Road to joy, space today. Sometimes life looks like a mess. It's God's clearing, it's for the best. Might feel like bondage, you're always free. Just live your life and let the rest be. No matter the trouble, worry or woe, just find your faith and let the rest go. Look within, you'll find your way. The road to joy, faith today. Sometimes life may look like a mess, but it's God's clearing, it's for the best. If you are yearning and your spirit feels lost, just find your faith and carry on. Just find your faith and carry on. Just find your faith and carry on.
Thank you, Norman. It looks like you're singing and walking the talk at the same time. Norman's had some problems connecting on the computer, so we're just finding our faith and carrying on. Thank you. And now let me ask Haji to come forward with our inspirational reading.
Yeah, so today's reading is from A Course in Miracles, the workbook, which I'm actually in the process of doing. So it's been amazing. And today is from lesson 50. And the lesson is, I am sustained by the love of God. Here is the answer to every problem that will confront you today and tomorrow and throughout time. In this world, you believe you are sustained by everything but God. Your faith is placed in the most trivial and insane symbols: money, protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people, an endless list of forms of nothingness that you endow with magical powers. All these things are your replacement for the love of God. All these things are cherished to ensure a body identification. They are songs of praise to the ego, Do not put your faith in the worthless. It will not sustain you. Only the love of God will protect you in all circumstances. It will uplift you out of every trial and raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world into a climate of perfect peace and safety. It will transport you into a state of mind that nothing can threaten, nothing can disturb, and where nothing can intrude upon the eternal calm of the Son of God. Put your faith not in illusions, they will fail you. Put all your faith in the love of God within you, eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today. Through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. I am sustained by the love of God. It is a declaration of release from the belief in idols. It is your acknowledgement of the truth about yourself. Think about this today. Let related thoughts come to help you recognize its truth and allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. Let no idle and foolish thoughts enter to disturb the holy mind of the Son of God. Such is the kingdom of heaven. Such is the resting place where your Father has placed you forever.
Thank you. Kathy, are you able to put up the affirmation? Well, we're listening.
Okay. So the affirmation, if you see it, you can join me in reading it together.
There it is. Look at that.
Great. How wonderful is the power and presence of God. I open my heart and mind and let love take over my life. Light shines and illuminates the way. Feeling this light of God's presence renews me and allows me to break through any sense of limitation and allow God to be in the world through me as love. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Hashi. Beautiful. Well, it's okay to be happy. I saw a little inspirational quote from Michael Beckwith that came through a day or two ago. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be in joy, even when things look bleak, because you have to be in the frequency and the vibration of the life you want to live and the world you want to live in. And I just found that helpful 2 or 3 times in the last couple of days when there was stress and condition out in the world that I needed to be reminded. So thank you, and thank you, Hashi, for that from Course in Miracles as well. I love the affirmation and this idea of feeling the light of God's presence. Just allowing ourselves to be in that point. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, about giving up the search or giving up the struggle and just relaxing. A beautiful quote I remember from somewhere along the way. Silence of mind is not the absence of thought. It's the absence of struggle. You may have noticed often the thoughts still keep coming. But I invite this, put this idea as a seed out there. Silence of mind is not the absence of thought. It's the absence of struggle. It's the not being totally attached and caught up in it. So just relax for a moment. Let go of anything that might be dancing around in your mind. You might be aware of the fact that you don't have to believe everything in your mind. Remember from a Michael Singer book, The Untethered Soul, which I looked for all over yesterday and can't find anywhere. But early on, he talks about this experience of being aware of all of these thoughts in the mind and saying this and that, no, no, you better do this, you better, oh my gosh, answer the phone. No, no, you might not. Maybe it's X. Thought if you had someone sitting next to you on a couch that was saying all the things that your internal dialogue does, you would know they were crazy and you wouldn't want to be taking your advice from them. And I just love that idea. I'm going to have to order another Untethered Soul. I don't know what in the world happened to that book, but if you have it or if you're guided and led to it, it's a beautiful thing. And it helps begin to make that separation between thinking we are all of these thoughts in the mind, this voice that's got all the drama and trauma, all the stuff that's happening. So it's been said several times about the neural pathways in our mind is that we've got a good memory. It's like Teflon. It scoots right on by. If we got something that's traumatic or filled with drama, it's like Velcro and it keeps coming up. We hold on to it. Repeatedly runs over and over and over. So I love the idea of letting go of the struggle, just relaxing and being present in the moment. And several years ago, I got this from my stepmother, some ideas about inner peace. She was a wonderful woman, a devout Catholic. She met 2 popes. She used to play tennis in her early years with Bishop Fulton J. Sheen. Just a wonderful woman. And Dee sent me this piece that I'm going to read to you on inner peace. I shared years ago. She was in her late 80s, early 90s when she sent this. She lived to be at 101, 102. We think it was her birthday going into 102, and then noticed that at one point the DMV had her birth year different, younger than it was, and she never told them, and she let it be younger. So when I went after she had passed, I went to talk to them about adjusting the date on this plaque that was there. They looked very funny and brought out a little signed letter, a letter from Dee saying, I know that's not the right day, but that's the way I want it. Don't change it. So, so she was 101 or 102 or somewhere in there, but she sent us this idea for inner peace. Passing it on because it worked for me and we could all use a little more calmness in our lives. It's following some simple advice that she heard on the Dr. Phil show. The way to achieve inner peace is to finish all the things you've started and never finished. So, she says, I looked around my house to see all the things I started and hadn't finished. Before leaving this morning, I finished off a bottle of Merlot, a bottle of White Zinfandel, a bottle of Bailey's Bristol Cream, a bottle of Kahlua, a package of Oreos, the remainder of my Prozac prescription, the rest of the cheesecakes, some saltines, and a box of chocolates. You have no idea how freaking good I feel. And I share this with you because I was so delighted that it was my stepmother, the good Catholic, almost 90-year-old lady who sent that. It helps to break up those stereotypes about how we should be in the world or what somebody's like. And sometimes we just need to dance or laugh or let go of striving for things and just be. When we do that from this place inside ourselves that knows, we do know that we're here for deep work, profoundly affecting each of us, our spiritual communities in the world, that it's good and very good, and we're gathering here together for this work. The other part of us, we know that something's going on, energies are shifting, sometimes our lives are close to overwhelm, we're experiencing a lot of struggle. Everything's changing, systems seem to be breaking down. Those evolutionary drivers, I love that from Barbara Marx Hubbard. All the crises and challenges are just these evolutionary drivers, she says. Every obstacle is an evolutionary driver. Every problem, a precise stimulus toward transformation. Gene Houston says, we've already lived through the biggest evolutionary jump in millions of years. We've developed this planetary nervous system, technological and electronic system that has as many trillion interconnection as the human brain. Sometimes there's issues with it, like Norman this morning, but all of us are connected, not only in consciousness, but in this other way in the world as well. But the only thing that's really transformative is this change in consciousness. And that's what we're all engaged in right this minute. We have to move to new levels of consciousness. The old way, you could see clearer and clearer what's going on in the old way, and it doesn't work. Arjuna Ada says about waking up, it's not the result of working on yourself, not the result of achievement. It's just the recognition that my life is based on a false assumption of separation. That's all. What's looking is looking back. It's that same consciousness. Haji talked about it beautifully in her opening invocation. This one life that lives us, that flows through us all. Just that realization can be an awakening. That sense of being in a box, of being separate, melts away. We begin to realize that it's all just consciousness. This transformed sense of identity is at the very core of any awakening shift. And I think we're being asked, invited to let go of the past and the future and surrender into this present moment, which is the only place that we can realize and that we can share this one life. The somewhat startling subtitle in a book that by Eckhart Tolle, a little book called Practicing the Power of Now, another book I couldn't find yesterday at all. It says, don't search for peace. And I remember being so taken aback when I saw that. But this is what this is about, letting go of the search. I brought this from a book called Passionate Presence by Catherine Ingram in a chapter entitled Call Off the Search. She's talking about her story of her life, traveling, organizing meditation retreats, doing all kinds of things. She says, but there was always something missing. And so the search went on. The problem was that no matter how satiated and alive I felt in moments of profound experience, it didn't last. Like the hunger that returns only hours after the gourmet meal, the experience of fulfillment was limited by time. The search has been an attempt to make more of myself. Just listen to this, because how many of us feel this or have engaged in this? The intention to enhance me remained my primary motivation, she says. Even in meditation practice, there was a hope that I would attain something one day. Something more would be added on. I would get the insight, realization, satori, or enlightenment. Then I might finally be able to relax. Meeting my teacher, she writes, Punjaji, woke an intelligence in me that knew that there was nothing to do or to get, and that the search itself was the problem. The very idea of a search must begin by thinking that something is missing. It assumes deprivation at the outset. What if we knew that nothing is missing right now? Right now. Nothing is needed in our experience of aliveness but being alive. What need would there be for a search? And you can just feel this within yourself. Feel life itself within your body. Just the sense of the energy and the movement. Punjaji used to say that when you realize this, you will burst out laughing because what you were looking for was always with you, hidden in plain sight. He likened this to searching for one's glasses while wearing them, which I do often. In the deepest recesses of ourselves, there is a most familiar quietude. It's been there through all our seeking and craving, as well as all the events of our lives. It's a point of peace, a silent witnessing awareness, fundamentally unperturbed, no matter what's happened, accepts all, always accepting, never struggling, never fighting against, allowing, present. There's a field of silent awareness, and it's kind of like watching a movie through the drama of our lives. Well, that's interesting, lovely, very interesting. Curious what happens next. This field of silent awareness, deeper reality, silent presence, the silence of the heart. It's a silence that is the background of all our activity. We don't need to find it because it isn't lost. It isn't lost. It's right here. This silence is what Eckhart Tolle calls the unmanifested, or being itself. Mary Reed's beautiful words for it is cherishing awareness, love, God, all of these things, consciousness. Eckhart Tolle talks about the myriad windows or portals to what he calls the real. He says the now can be seen as the main portal. Be intensely present. Get in touch with the energy field of the inner body. It's this disidentification from the mind. Surrender, letting go of resistance to what is. Even this morning, as I knew this is what I'm talking about, one of the candles on my altar, I noticed gone out. So I got up and went over and lit it, looked out the window, and by the time I got back to my meditation chair, my mind was doing this little talk with the landscapers who had come at 7:30 at night on Friday night in the rain to try and do the lawn that they couldn't see. And I thought, even now, in the midst of all of this other larger thing I'm thinking about, mind catches on and I think that's me. Until you notice. Until you notice. Till we can abide in the silence. Tolle says to become conscious of being, you need to reclaim consciousness from the mind. This is one of the most essential tasks on your spiritual journey. We had a beautiful experience of this. Nan Blanchard is going to talk about some meditations that she does Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8:30 about just watching, being the awareness and watching the awareness. Beautiful exercise about what's happening. Just asking yourself, what's happening in the mind? No story about this is that and this condition and all that. Not even, it's raining. But just listening is happening. Nothing outside, but notice listening is happening. Thinking is happening. Judging is happening. Sensing is happening. It's this disidentification with the mind that allows us to go into this consciousness that is love, that is life, that is what makes us oneness, what allows us to understand that we are not just these separate bodies. We are this consciousness of love that is everywhere. And as more and more people awaken to this, it affects the collective and the collective shift, and it becomes easier for others. So we come to the don't look for peace, the starting line that I saw on that Eckhart Tolle book. Peace is something that I have longed for. It's been a very big value in my life. I notice when I don't feel in it, and it's what I'm turned toward when I make a decision to forgive somebody or let go of a feeling or hurt. I want that peace. So don't search for peace. It was very startling for me. What would happen in the world if we didn't search for peace? Work for peace. Tolle says, don't look for peace. Don't look for any other state than the one you're in now. Otherwise, you set up an inner conflict and an unconscious resistance. Forgive yourself for not being at peace. Forgive yourself for thinking about what you want to say to the landscapers. Forgive yourself. And the moment you completely accept your non-peace becomes transmuted into peace. Anything you accept fully will get you there, he says, will take you into peace. This is the miracle of surrender. When you accept what is, he writes, every moment is the best moment. This is enlightenment. Someone asked Tolle about the portals to this unmanifested, or the real, as he calls it. He says, surely love must be one of those portals. And no, Tolle answered, as soon as one of the portals is open, love is present in you as that feeling realization of oneness. Love isn't a portal. It's what comes through the portal into this world. Your task is not to search for love, but to find a portal through which love can enter. This now moment is that portal. We are that, or can be that portal, that space where love can enter, where peace can enter. I brought this book as well by Paul Zelig, I Am the Word, to share some with you that supports this idea, I think, as we move into being the peace in the world, being the love, being that space where that happens. As he talks about, uses the word, I am the word, a lot. He says, I'll get my glasses on. He said, word is an action. It's the frequency, the action of the Creator. And the word became flesh and dwelt among us. You know, it's that word. So I'm going to share this with you. If you're not familiar with Paul Zelig, and you're inclined to, there are many books. He's a intuitive and a beautiful channel now of some amazing truth. And these books are what he says in his workshops, or what comes through him in his workshop. So they're talking about an image of a bus station. Many, many people gathering at the bus station, not known one another in the past, but everybody's called here. And everybody is acknowledging they know one another by recognition, if not by name. Everybody's been called to take this trip, and everybody gets on the bus. This is a picture that was unfolding in Paul's mind. And once they're on the bus, they are in the frequency and they are traveling. This is the bus, and you are the frequency. You are traveling. Do you understand this? This is not a little thing. This is a huge thing. You are part of something. You are part of energetic movement and a creation that will have effects and intend to for 1,000 years. This is the next passage of time. This is the next age. This is the next time. And you are part of the heralding and part of the creation that is shifting this on a global level as the consciousness of this plane rises in frequency. And we say this with recognition and with joy that the time has come for man to say, I am word, I am word, I am word. And so they offer a meditation and an attunement. At the end of his workshops, often the audience has a chance to click in and ask questions. I don't know, the hundreds or maybe thousands of people now with COVID and everybody at home. There could be thousands of people. And you put your hand up and see if you get called on. And I got called on one time and asked if it would be okay for me to share these attunements and these prayers with our congregation. And I received permission to do that. So I am. We want you to envision your worth as a divine being, as a speck of light at the core of your being. A golden speck at the heart that believes that she is worthy of her journey to the Christed self. And we want you to envision this gold spark alighting as a flame, as a very small flame regarding itself beautifully as it catches the light. You are a small fire burning in your heart. And as you do this, you begin to experience heat in the heart center as the flame rises and flickers. And this is your self-worth, your own Christed self in being manifested as you. And now you say, I am worth my journey. Word, I am word. And as you say this, it's as if the flame has risen within your heart and rises in prominence. And the heat regards itself as opening up and beginning to fill the chest as a chamber of fire. Word, I am word through my belief that I am worthy of this journey of the Spirit. Word, I am word. I am word through the self-worth that requires me to believe that I am entitled as a child of God to come into my manifestation as my Christed self. Word, I am word through this intention. Word, I am word. At this moment in time, the flame is burning in your chest, and this is your own worth as a divine human being made manifest. This is the aspect of you that is the Christ, and the heart is burning, aligned to this vibration at this second in time. Now we want you to amplify that light again and allow the light to become you as word. And this is the words they speak for us, to us. I am changing my incarnation, my path, to vibrate as one with my Christed self. I acknowledge myself as my divine self in full manifestation. I align to the Creator in all ways, who will support me in bringing forth this frequency fully and with light to change my being on a level of structure and form, to own myself in consciousness as an aspect of the Creator, fully realized, embodied in light. I am now changing the physical form that I stand in. I am now changing the consciousness that I inhabit and respond to. I am now changing the alignment I have always held to a higher alignment. And in doing this, I allow myself to become Christed in form. Just feel as being the space. I bring to me now the powers and requirements of this transformation. I call to be now the benefits and the changes of this transformation. I call to be now those beings who will support me in my passage to align me fully to the requirements and to the vestige of this expression as a self incarnating as the Christ. As I do this, I change my name. I am word, I am word, I am word. I have become that which I have stated. And in doing so, my recognition of myself as the creator of my world begins to come into consciousness in a way that I can experience. And my relationship with my creator, the great creator, goes into harmonious accord. We work together as one energy, vibrating at a frequency of Christ. I have transformed my soul. I have made myself new. I've called to me those energies that will transform the nature and being of who I believe I am. And as I do this now, I bring to me the magnitude of light at the highest frequency that my system can realize. And in this moment, I merge my light, my own Christed flame, with the light that surrounds me. And I intend to become myself in fullness as word. I am word through this intention. Word, I am word. I am that I am. I am one with Father that created me. I am one with the universe that I exist in. I am in my Christed self, and I experience myself now as energy, as form, as energy, as form, as energy, as form. I'm doing this now. I am in transformation. I am in my light, and I am worthy of this journey. Word, I am word, through this intention. word, I am word. Just allowing that which is the truth to flow through us. Being an aspect of that word, that creative energy that moves through us. Being the awareness behind it, the energy, and being the form in this physical body. Both at the same time. And as we acknowledge this moment right here and now, this stillness, this radiant aliveness of our inner body, it is love itself. It is peace itself that enters into the world through us. Through this surrender to the present moment and to the light within. And we are blessed and a blessing. And we allow those words of our affirmation. We feel the light of God's presence. And we allow it expression right here and right now as each of us. And so it is. Amen. So take a deep breath and just allow the moment, the space. It's time for our offering. We'll let Kathy Miller come forward and take her. Purpose of the discussion group is nice, Kathy, but we're looking actually for the. Most people would know it. Perhaps we just could say it together.
Perhaps I will just say it. I'm so sorry. I've been cutting and pasting different things this morning, and you will all join me, please. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to
thee
in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
And Norman with this song reminding us we are family.
Yes, I am back in the best form. Problems have been divinely solved here. All right.
Oh yeah, you're on your widescreen computer. Good, good.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. We are family, brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family, brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. Everyone can see we're together as we walk on by. And we fly just like birds of a feather. I won't tell you no lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love and a family dose. We are family, brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family, brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. Living life is fun and we just begun to get our share of this world's delights. Hopes we have are our goals inside. We don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in the things you do. You won't go wrong. This is our family jewel. We are family. Brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family. Brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family. Brothers and my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing.
Thank you, Norman. Now we have a blessing that we've come to be offering to one another. Certainly, if you're here for the first time, it's our new visitor welcome. But if you raise your hands and we just see everybody, and those of you that don't have a video, we're sending to you too as we say together, welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. We're a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light. We are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. Thank you. And then this prayer we call the Mastermind Covenant. Another word for this limitless love, this cherishing awareness, this all that is. And I'll tell you these responses if you'd like to close your eyes. Knowing there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own, and knowing it is responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling, say aloud, I acknowledge. Surrendering to the power of this divine consciousness, knowing I am guided and assisted past any limited perception to God's truth within, now say, I surrender. Knowing forgiveness is the key to change. I now forgive myself and others for all mistaken judgments, and I open the door to unconditional love by saying, I forgive. Realizing my life is the creation of my own thoughts, I now choose to fill my mind with thoughts that are positive, loving, and beautiful. And I allow my life to reflect that choice by saying, I choose. Holding this consciousness for the Center for Conscious Living, we now thank God for the continued prosperity of this spiritual community and for everyone. For myself, I now go within to the silence of my own mind as I state my own specific intentions, knowing the universe always says yes. Please repeat after me. I accept. With a thankful heart and knowing that all I have put into divine mind is now returned to me, I say, thank you, God. And now this covenant that The love of God enfolds me. The mind of God inspires me. The Spirit of God enlightens me. The power of God encircles me. I am in God, and all is well, for I'm enthusiastic, excited, expectant, and at peace. Turn to your neighbor, I guess, all over and say, I'm grateful God has heard you.
I'm grateful God has heard you.
I'm grateful God has heard you.
Okay, I'm going to mute you guys now because I want to have a couple of announcements. Anne, is Anne Blanchard with us now? Might be or might not. All right, well, Kathy and June, if you would talk about, we have an upcoming class coming up and on white fragility and that book, if you'd talk to us about that, please, and invite the folks.
Hey, hi, Kathy. You there?
I'm here. Hi, June.
Hey.
As you see, I for all to see, we put the purpose of our class up in the chat room.
People have been asking a little bit about the purpose of this, and how does this relate to what we do at CCL and our higher spiritual purpose. And it's about white fragility. That's the name of the book. And what is white fragility? Well, it's another an aspect of the fragility of our egos and how we defend our identity, even though we don't know what our identity is. And so this is an exploration of that. This is going to bring us closer and closer to the truth of ourselves. And it's a gentle course. Can people hear me? Yeah.
Yes, Virgie, could you mute yourself, please? Thank you.
So the purpose, the stated purpose is that we're going to support one another to learn and stretch as we explore this concept of whiteness. It's the skin that we wear, our race, even if we're not aware of it. It's the skin that we wear. And it's what would we say? A fabric, if you will, made up of all kinds of identity. We have many, many identities. I'm a woman. I'm an older woman. I'm retired. I don't even think about being white. I'm a resident of New Jersey. I'm a Democrat or a Republican or something. We've got all these identities. And to find out who the truth of us, we need to unravel that and begin to separate it so we can let the light through, which is just what Reverend Carol was saying today.
Yes, and I think this is well said, June. And certainly to look at this in the construct, there's so many issues that are happening right now on our planet. And this is just one of the issues, but this is a very important issue. And what our intention is to look at race as a construct, look, as June said so beautifully, how we identify ourselves and how we can expand our spirituality by knowing the truth of us and knowing what the race consciousness is, and to really to experience being connected and part of this beautiful spiritual community that we have, a larger community as we look to deconstruct racism and to really, ask some very deep questions. This guide that we have, Robin DiAngelo, who is a sociologist and the author of this book, who happens to be a white woman, and really the class is open to all. But she really looks at it from a perspective of what does it mean why are we so afraid to talk about this? Why are we, and in this community is such a conscious, open, progressive community. And let's look at some of the things that have been hidden for so many years, that are so embedded in so many of us, that we just, bring them to the light. Like all of the things that we work on. This is just one area bringing things to the light. And I know Norman, were you going to say, so I know Norman is a has read the book and highly recommends it. Could you say something about the book, Norman?
Yeah, can you hear? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I faded out for a sec. Yeah, I think that the book is really informative. It really goes to really examining this idea of white privilege and having an understanding of it, and understanding that it's not saying that you don't have any problems if you're white. It's saying that one of your problems is not being a person of color, and so that's something that really needs examining by many. And it's one of those things. If you're not in the shoes, it's in some ways it may be difficult to understand. So I think that she really goes deeply into that, and I feel like she. Because she's white, actually, it holds a lot of strength because she comes off as an ally, but she's coming off as an ally that's not performative, if you know what I mean. And that's another issue. I think the book addresses that as well.
Thank you, Norman.
I would just ask you to look inside and see if you're uncomfortable about this. And if you're feeling like, I don't need to do this. This is not for me. That's probably a good place to start.
And when is the class, my darling?
It starts this Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. We have a Zoom link for you. The first class, we have a little bit of reading and a couple of very short videos. Won't take you long to do it. It's getting to know each other. And then we're going to jump in. So please join us Tuesday night at 7. You can talk to Reverend Marlene or at the office to register.
Call the office or send an email to CCL in Morristown at AOL that you'd like to join. We can send you the link. You can go to our website and find the donate button. It's a little bit difficult, and then say it's for the class, and I think it's $40.
It's $40. We're trying to keep the price down. We don't, and if that doesn't work for you, if you don't have the $40, that's fine too. We really just welcome you. We want to have a good discussion.
So we're looking forward to many more people joining us in this discussion. So thank you. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
If you're not on our mail list, CCL in Morristown at AOL is another place you can let them know. You can also put in a prayer request there. We'd love to have you do that. And then once you're on the mail list, you'll see this groups. We have Course in Miracles is meeting this coming Monday night. The class starts Tuesday. We have all kinds of other activities, men's groups, women's groups, Course in Miracles groups. So you want to be on that mailing list to find out. Let me ask again, is Ann Blanchard able to be here yet?
She is.
So just tell them, if you would, about we're adding that as well to the email about your morning meditation.
Wonderful. Well, great. It's, as always, fabulous to see all of you. Wanted to invite you. We have been, over the course of some weeks and months now, doing a meditation Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. We do it in 2 chunks, 7:30 to 8, 8 to 8:30. If you can only do a half an hour, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And we do this on the Awakening Together forum. There's a sanctuary, a standing Zoom room, which you can access by going to awakening-together.org. And it says—
And the Zoom link, Ann, is also in the email that I sent out from CCL about the various member support activities.
Great,
so it's
great.
in there as well.
Okay, so let me just say a thing about what we do during this meditation, because there's all kind of meditations and they all serve different purposes. We have one purpose in this meditation, and that is we practice being right where we are, accepting everything right where it is, and looking for what's there. We're not trying to become anything. We're not trying to do anything. We're not trying to drop anything. We're not trying to add anything. If we want to know our true essence, the truth of what we are, we can't not be the truth of what we are. we cannot realize the truth of what we are. We cannot be in touch with the truth of what we are. We can't not be the truth of what we are. And the premise that we work with is if we want to know the truth of what we are, we need to spend some time paying attention to that, sitting with that, opening to that. And it's lightly guided, guided by whatever guidance comes in. And it's just an hour of opening to what is already here, what's already whole, what's already at peace, and what's just kind of waiting for us to turn our attack around and just look at it and sit with it for a while, and then allow that to open up to whatever is to open. And so it's just an open invitation, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30, 8:30. Don't need to sign up. Don't need to put your camera on. Don't need to do anything. Just if you feel called, just, show up and bring your heart. And I just, it's just a pleasure to do it. And it's just a wonderful time to get together. And they're also taped. If that hour doesn't work on the Awakening Together Sanctuary, you can go also listen to them as recordings. But obviously it's very often invigorating to have a live practice to draw you there. It's at 7:30, 8:30 in the morning. So everyone's invited.
Thank you, Anne. There are other activities by our members listed in the email. Kathy Milano does a salon once a month, and it's tonight. No, yes, is this today, Sunday? Yes, second Sunday. So tonight, 7 to 8:30. Norman Taylor does his social distancing music page, usually Thursdays. Check and see. Live and Joy is listed. Christine Hopkins has some mindfulness meditations. So much to do. Thank you all. You can check out on our Facebook page or YouTube page, Center for Conscious Living NJ, these talks and recordings as well. This morning's will be up soon. And Norman has a little thing for us. You've quite a day, Norman. Thanks for.
Thank you. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. I ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Marlene's put up in the chat. Yes, Rick Moss will be with us next week. Incredible healer, deepening into releasing things from our subconscious. So check that out as well. And now let me call up Haji for our concluding affirmation.
Yes. So many of you know this one by heart. Feel free to follow along, keeping yourself muted. What a glorious day. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in my feelings. Life is in all my activities. I receive it. I share it. I am it, and I accept it just the way that it is. Thank you, life. And accepting all these gifts, we say, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Blessings and love, everybody.
Yes, love you all.
Have a wonderful day.
Guys, love you all. What a great
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Everybody, hi, Ann.
Jean.
Gonna try to get up early tomorrow.
Hi, Jerry.
Happy birthday, Ellen.
Trisha, Julie.
Thank you, thank you. Hi, Sue.
Kathy.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Julie.
Bye.
Hi, Ellen.
Bye.
Hi,
Bobby.
Julie. Hi,
Rain.
Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Gina.
Tisha. Hi, Bonnie. Hey, Will.
Thank you, Norman.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy birthday,
Sandra.
Ellen. Happy birthday,
Dora.
Ellen.
Hope you feel better, Virgie.
Hi, Marlene.
Hi, Stephen. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
Thank you,
Hi,
Norman.
Lorraine.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Sue.
Joanne. Hi, Joe. Hi, Reverend Al.
Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hi, Will.
Good.
I want a bagel.
Wait a minute.
Hi,
With
Reverend
cream
Al.
cheese.
Hi,
Cream cheese
Lynn.
and Jersey tomatoes.
Bye, everyone.
Patricia. Rain.
Nice to see you, Sue.
Wonderful work, Taji.
Hi, June.
Thank you.
Unmute yourself.
Hi, Peggy.
Hi.
Hi, Lane.
Hi,
Lynn.
Thank you all for a great week.
Hi, hi, Felicia.
There you go, Al. Now we can see
Reverend.
you.
Hello.
Have a good day, everybody.
Reverend now. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
We're good, Cassandra.
Blessings to all.
Thank you.
Stephen.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
To you. Hey, is that Will in his car?
Will's looking so cool.
Yeah. You just joined us. Yeah. I'm glad you
Cool
could.
Will.
Oh,
Mother showed him. And Felicia. Hey, Felicia.
All right, guys. Love you all. See you.
Take care.
Hopefully, I'll see you Tuesday.
hi,
Love
Molly.
you. Bye. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, Annie.
I would love it. Would love it.
Yeah. That's my alarm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's retirement, you know. Staying up late, getting up
Hello.
late.
Why do you think I'm doing it? It makes me get up.
My life. I love it. All right. Ciao, kids.
Guys.
Love you all.